How's it going, you guys? So in this video, I'm just going to update you all on, I guess, what I've been doing lately or what I'm doing as the last couple months. It's been harder for me to stay consistent with my YouTube, mostly just because most of my energy has been going towards my personal training career and also my health consultations and other things, which, by the way, I do offer health consultations, so hit me up on Instagram. It's at Coach Wolfgang VL, or you can email me, Wolfgang Lizana, WOLFGANG at gmail.com, if you're interested in health consultations or life coaching. And my clients are getting amazing results. I also do personal training, and I can also help consult with you on online personal training if you're interested. So anyway, I've been super busy with that, and then on top of that, I've been balancing jujitsu training, uh, anywhere from, you know, 1 to sometimes 3 hours a day of jujitsu training. And that means, every session's 1 hour. So if I'm doing 3 hours, that means one session at 11 a.m. lunchtime, another hour, 6 p.m., and then sometimes I would do another class directly after that. And then directly before my jujitsu class, I'd be doing powerlifting, maximum powerlifting. I've been currently doing a very heavily modified version of 531, where I'm basically working up to a max, a PR, every single workout session, and then sometimes 2 or 3 PRs, depending on how I have my program set up. And so it's been a lot to juggle on my plate. Obviously, there's a variety of other things. I have friendships, I have family. Then I also work security on Sunday mornings. And so, talking about it right now, for me, I think it's fascinating because I have a lot on my plate. And since the gym's opened back up and I got hired at a gym, I have really, at first I was having quite a bit of free time because it took some time for my manager to, sign up clients for me. But after about 1 month, I immediately just randomly, overnight, it seemed like I had a full schedule full of clients, which is amazing and awesome, and I'm super appreciative, and that's obviously a very good and positive thing. But because now I have, clients every single day, throughout my entire schedule, and then some clients who, I have to call and reach out to on a regular basis, make sure they're staying on track with their nutrition, and it's an extra consultation for them, pretty much. And I have other clients that, for whatever reason, they just don't reach out to train. And so if I have any free time on my schedule, I have extra clients I can call and put them on. So I've been really, really busy, and I've been taking no days off. No days off since, since like really since, July. Since July. July is when it really started kicking up. August is really where it really started picking up. So I love it. I love being busy, but with that comes, a variety of other areas of my life that I found have been neglected. Part of that is my YouTube, but the big thing is I haven't really had any time to just kind of like relax and deload. My Sundays, I work 6 a.m. to like noon to 12. And so, Sundays would be my complete day off because I was working Saturdays for training because I know lots of people don't have time during the week because of work and stuff. So Saturdays are convenient for them to train. I was working my entire weekends too, and Sundays felt like just a really big stressor for me. It felt like Sundays was like probably the most stressful day of my week because waking up extra early to get to be to work at 6 a.m. and then I'm just like walking around doing security work, um, which can be very mind numbing. I'm the type of person that if my mind is not engaged in something, I feel like a zombie. I feel lethargic. I feel bored. It like eats me alive. So I like to be engaged, which is why I like personal training and consulting with people and stuff like that, because it feels like it it takes my energy and my time, but it gives me back, you know, more in a way. It's not mind numbing, basically. So So Sundays, I was doing live streams at the end of the day because that was the only day where I had enough free time. But it's been such a full work schedule. The stress, the so-called stress, the physiological stress, not actual stress, but physiological, just like being turned on all the time, always doing something, it builds up over time to where Sundays I just am so exhausted. I just lay in fucking bed. Literally don't even want to like go to the store and buy food or water. It's crazy. And then you would think, I was expecting Mondays to be the day where I wake up and I'm all like rejuvenated and stuff like that. Because I just finished up with the weekend, and I was thinking the weekend was like the easy days, but I was waking up Monday feeling the most tired and exhausted of all. So I've been really, really busy is what I'm getting at, and I realized as of last week that there's certain precautions that I had to start taking in order to keep my mind fresh and just like my overall like lifestyle healthy, okay? And not really making too much, like I'm not removing things in a sense. I'm just like shifting things around to make them more conducive to recovery. And by recovery, I don't mean like, physical recovery. It's physiological recovery. It's psychological recovery. It's getting my mind back. So what I ended up doing is, first of all, I said, fuck this. I'm going to have one fucking day off. Okay. Because it's not sustainable. I've never been this busy. I've always had a lot of free time, thanks to, just the way I set up my finances and lifestyle for a long time. And by the way, just a little side note, 2020 has probably been my most productive and amazing year, probably in my entire life that I can think back to. I'm actually making probably triple the money that I was making before 2020. And I'm actually progressing in all areas of my life besides relationships, but that to me is not really important, like as far as like love life and stuff like that. And I don't know about that. It's not, but it's not important in my opinion. But so all areas of my life have been like improving in 2020. And at first it was gloom and doom and pessimism when the thing started. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want the algorithm to censor me or anything, but the perfect storm of 2020 hit. At first it was gloom and doom, but then I shifted my mindset and I looked at it as an opportunity to take personal training from all the personal trainers that were quitting their jobs due to their pessimism. And so now I'm like, whoa, like I have all their clients. And I feel amazing. But anyway, so yesterday was my first rest day. It was a Tuesday. I took that rest day just because I haven't had a rest day in forever. Just like took everything off, and I literally just laid down in my room and read. I just read textbooks for 4 hours, but I also read some like spirituality stuff for like 4 hours. And that was all I did. I went to the store, I think once. I think I went to the store. And that was it. But what I did though is now on my schedule I have Saturday as just my day off. Saturday. So all week, but so then I did have about 3 to 4 hours. I think I had like 4 hours available for personal training. And each session's only 30 minutes. So I had like 4 hours open for personal training on Saturdays, where I would not get any free time at all. I'd wake up in the morning on Saturdays and I might go and eat breakfast with my mom. We used to go thrift shopping together and stuff like that on our weekends, but people would schedule training at the last minute, and my schedule starts at 2 p.m. on Saturdays. And so I'd be like, oh, sorry, Mom, can't do it because someone randomly scheduled it last minute. So I'll go train my clients, and I'm always happy to do so. Sometimes they would schedule last minute, then they would cancel last minute. And so then like my whole Saturday went to shit. So that wasn't worth it in my opinion. So I moved all of my availability that I had on Saturday And I just extended my hours on the weekdays. So I'm not like removing availability from my schedule. I'm still able to train those clients and make the money that I was making before and help the people I was helping before. But instead of Saturdays now, it's just a full work week instead. Because the good thing about personal training is you can work less hours and make more money. I mean, when I get promoted to master trainer here in a couple of days, it seems like now, um, I'm going to be making approximately $15 per 30-minute session, and that equates to about $30 an hour. So that's a much like it's much easier to have like a busier schedule outside of work when you get paid that way. Um, so my schedule is now going to be open from like two in the afternoon all the way to like 9 p.m. All throughout the week. So plenty of availability for any even if they work no matter what their work schedule. Um, and then Saturday is just like my veg out day where I just do fucking nothing. And then Sundays I still do the work or whatever, and my security job. But then I get off at like noon. So because I already spent Saturday recovering, it's okay for Sunday to be like a stressful day where I didn't sleep very well, but I still like get things done because I already had my rest day. I don't need that same recovery. So now I'm refreshed from the Saturday of rest, and now I can like overload my system with more stuff. So Sunday I could go and I can do whatever I need to do with friends, weekend stuff, go thrifting with my mom or whatever, go on a date, whatever it might be. Record some music on Sundays is what I'm expecting. Um, record videos, do my live stream, whatever I need to do. And so Sunday is pretty much the beginning of my work week from that point on. And then, you know, I might like make, a Wednesday or something, kind of like a half day where I shorten my schedule to like, I don't know, 4 hours or something, just so that I can get that extra bit of recovery during the week, in the middle of the week, so that I don't like burn myself out, how I have been. So it's very interesting, because, because I've never really been worked myself this hard. I never really experienced this buildup of stress. And so when it started happening, I didn't know that it was normal. I thought that it was just, me being lazy. So I didn't care, didn't really make any precautions. Um, but then of course I talked to my mom who, she's owned her own multi-million dollar business for about, she had one going for about 10 years. And it was multi-million dollar at its peak. I think that was like net worth or something of the business. And then now she's like the COO of another company that makes a ton of money. And so she's always been like super, super busy most of her life, on top of all the other things she has. And so she's really familiar with that type of burnout and stuff. So, talked to her. She told me, yeah, it's normal. Everybody needs a day off eventually. I got a couple of other friends that are super going. One of my best friends, Polo, he's a different breed of animal. He's always like, go, 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 work, work, work. But still takes his rest and recovery. Right now he's in the army, actually. He's like a sergeant. So, he's going to be the next Jocko Willink, David Goggins type of character. But probably not, but maybe. That would be cool. Anyway, so on top of the at least one complete day off, because I get to my Friday, I'm like, damn, I need a day off. But then I'm like, oh, I'm dreading the weekend. I'm dreading everything just because I'm like, there's no end to it, right? Even though I love what I do, if I, this one rest day is like the only thing that's missing. It has nothing to do with me hating my job. It's just like never having time to just chill. And for a long time, I stopped, like, I couldn't hang out with my friends at all, like, didn't hang out with anyone, not even my mom, just because of how busy I've been. But then, so the other thing that I noticed is with my exercise, so I'm more fatigued on my rest days, and I'm more fatigued directly after my rest days. So when I would, so if I, so like, despite the fact that I'm always working, I would take days off from exercise, where I would not lift weights. I would not do cardio. Wouldn't go to jujitsu or whatever. And I would just do work. I would just go to work or whatever. And I would use that time to try to recover. And like my Saturdays was always like no workout, just work. And Sundays were no workout, just work, because I tried to recover as much as possible. And so I do that, but I notice rest days always make me feel way more shitty, way more sore, way more tight, and way more tired. And so, I've noticed this forever. So I've been looking it up, and doing what I do. I haven't really been doing like standalone like cardio workouts. I've been doing just my strength and conditioning, which consists of mainly mobility and like powerlifting. And then I just go straight to jujitsu, and any cardio I get was from jujitsu. But then occasionally I get I do a week where I do some running, but I haven't been doing as much cardio as I used to do. I used to do a lot of just like straight metcons and running, sprinting, hill sprints on a regular basis, high intensity interval training. And, so I haven't been doing cardio. That's one thing. The other thing is, like I said, I feel shitty when I just take a complete day of rest. And so, looking back, what I've found is it's a general consensus that complete days of rest are probably not even like necessarily beneficial, unless you're really like on the verge of dying, or you're experiencing pains and injuries and stuff like that. But it seems like most people find it beneficial to take active rest days. So that's kind of what I decided to start doing more of. Even on my Sundays where I feel completely exhausted and worn down, I think another big reason why I feel like crap and don't feel recovered from my Saturdays and Sundays is because of a lack of movement. Interestingly, this last weekend, which was my last like all-out work week or whatever, where I had no days off, Saturday and Sunday, so I didn't work out at all. Friday I had like a upper body workout. It was just like max overhead press or something. But didn't do any cardio or anything like that. Saturday I trained all my clients, and that was it. No exercise. Sunday, did my security, and then I just went home and vegged out. Didn't do anything. And then Monday, I did my squat workout, which was pretty hardcore. It was, my top set, my AMRAP on 531, I squatted 270 pounds for like a set of 10 or something like that. And I dropped it down to 240 and did a set of like 10. And then I dropped it down to 200 pounds and did a set of 15. Anyone who knows about squats knows that those types of rep ranges on squats, and they're AMRAPs, many reps possible. That's pretty hard, right? But so I did that, and I didn't feel too bad after, but I decided I needed the recovery, so from the weekend or whatever. So I didn't go to jiu-jitsu, didn't do any cardio or conditioning or anything like that. And then I just trained my clients all the way until like 8 p.m. or whatever. Went home, went to sleep early, and then yesterday was my complete day off for the first time in months. And I didn't do anything. I decided I'm just going to have an actual day off. I didn't do anything, just laid in bed like I said earlier and read books and whatnot. But I felt tired and lethargic, and at the beginning of the day I felt good, but then after a while, I think laying in my bed, in the same room all day, it just got old. Even though I was reading books and stuff like that, tried playing some video games or whatever, it got old. And so it got old. I just felt lethargic. I felt bored. So then today I woke up, it's Wednesday, and I'm like, okay, well today I know I'm going to just like start my work day. But the thing is, I woke up, didn't really feel good, didn't feel that enthusiasm or motivation or productivity or whatever. Um, Still went to the gym, obviously, and I injured my pec last week, but that's another story. But I still hit a PR on bench because with 531, the program is set up to where you can hit PRs even on your worst days. So still hit a PR on bench, and then hit a major PR on my overhead press. And so of course I felt a little bit better, but then you know, didn't feel how I wanted to feel. Like the motivation, the energy, still felt kind of sluggish, right? And I was planning on going to jiu-jitsu today, because I know that I just need to get going, but I just felt like I need to do something for my head. Like I've come to realize that the whole reason why I ever started working out in the first place and exercising is because it's like medicine for my brain. And if I'm not feeling optimal, it's usually because I'm not doing the right type of exercise at the right type of frequency or volume or whatever. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to go out for a long run and see if that makes me feel better. Because I noticed like 2 weeks ago, I was just in the best of moods, but it's because I was inspired by an article about how overtraining is a myth, and they're talking about endurance as a skill. And I just ran that entire week but didn't lift weights. It was a deload week for me. And so I just went on a run right now before this video. And after about 25 minutes or so of just like consistent jogging or running, felt, I guess, the endorphin rush kick in. But really, I just felt like health just like overcame me. And that feeling of normal, of energy, of productivity, of motivation, of health, it just overcame me. And I realized that what I need to feel refreshed is more cardio, more active recovery, and obviously still do the strength training. But the strength training is more for, you know, to build that attribute of skill and explosiveness in which all athleticism is based on. But with 531, the great thing is it's so productive and efficient. I hit a PR on bench press and overhead press within 17 minutes, according to my timer today. And so I don't need to spend too much time doing that. So immediately after, and then now I'm out here doing cardio or whatever. So I do my strength training now, have my 1 day off, you know, go to jiu-jitsu on a regular basis, but get more cardio in at the same time. And use cardio more as like a tool to energize myself and refresh myself and get my mind going. But I notice I always like I get my ideas and feel inspired to record videos and stuff when I go running. And I made plenty of videos about brain drive neurotrophic factor and how running basically like untangles the knots of thoughts in your head. So it just gets your juices flowing. And I remember when I was younger and I first started exercising and didn't know anything about anything, I just would wake up and I would run 2 miles to the gym every single day because I didn't drive and the bus was like kind of like not a good idea at the time. So I would just run 2 miles to the gym from my house. And I was like, I don't know, how old was I? 16, 17 at the time. Run straight to the gym, 2 miles. And actually I'd run straight to the convenience store and I would get a bunch of candy bars and energy drinks, drink that was my breakfast, and I'd go straight into the gym, which is right across the street from the market, and then start my workout with like 40 minutes of cardio. And I would just go ham. I would just run as hard as I could. If I wanted to get super skinny, which was dumb at the time, looking at me now especially. Then I'd do a bunch of weights for like an hour, and I would just do whatever, just make it like really intense, the most intense I could. And I'd jump in the pool usually, and I'd go to the pool to cool off. And sometimes I'd go right back to the weights and do even more cardio after that. Sometimes I'd be in the gym for a whole 4 hours. I mean, for a long time, and I was really popular and known for that. And so I remember I was feeling the best I've ever felt back then. And I wasn't eating at all either. I was hardly eating anything. And when I did eat, it was like energy drinks and sugar, candy bars, and fried chicken and crap like that. But definitely wasn't like getting, enough protein. Especially, I probably was getting 50 to maybe 80 grams at the most a day of protein. And usually I'm sure the most protein I ever got was either from like chicken nuggets or from the pasta me and my friend would make at the time. It was a whole bag of cheese with like a whole pound of pasta or whatever, and then Monster Energy drinks on the side. So in closing, super important to be productive, to be a go-getter. I don't like this idea of just like everything should be easy and blah blah blah, but I do believe that you should be able to be productive while at the same time feeling good. I think a lot of people, they think life should be hard, but I think if you strategize properly and you really try to think about, well, how can I love what I do. So I work at a job that I love and I enjoy, and it works for me, and I get plenty of money that I need. I'm able to help other people with the knowledge that I have. But at the same time, like, take care of yourself, And taking care of yourself doesn't have to be like, drink like junk food or some bullshit. I don't think that's self-care at all. But I think taking off the time you need definitely is important, So, and pretty much I feel like working as a personal trainer and a health consultant and doing jujitsu and lifting and all the stuff that I do is self-care for me, because that's what makes me happy, honestly. And then so not only taking that day off, but also getting a run in. So honestly, I think one thing I'm going to probably do here in a bit, especially when I get promoted master trainer, I'm going to order a Whoop, which is like, a Whoop. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It's a heart rate tracker that measures heart rate variability, which is probably the closest thing we have to an accurate representation of how much stress the nervous system's being put under. So it could help you to gauge recovery and overreaching and overtraining. And so if I get that, then I'll have way better of an idea of like, am I actually like overtaxing myself, because, it's $30 a month, but the band is free. And a lot of people talk about how expensive that is, but like for me, for a long time, I've just been like I'll have periods of time where I feel suboptimal, or I'll feel like crap a lot of times. I'm like, why am I feeling like crap? And these days I kind of feel like a lot of it has to do with just stupid training methods I was doing for too long. Just like lifting to a max on all my exercises on a regular basis every day. But not just that, but drinking a shit ton of caffeine. Before I would do that, I would drink like 600 milligrams of caffeine at a certain point and just go on these hard fucking workouts. Not only the maxing, but then I do max reps, and then I would go do interval training, for like 20 to 40 minutes at a time. And if I felt shitty, I would try to do more, thinking I was going to get a bigger return. And so I think, a lot of those periods of time, I was just like overrunning myself, and I would not take any rest days. So I would just, I don't know. So I just feel like a Whoop is a very important investment. Honestly, I still don't believe that it's like, I don't believe that overtraining can be calculated, because even with the Whoop, especially considering the fact that, so heart rate variability doesn't track overtraining. It just tracks how much stress you're putting on your nervous system at a time. But the whole point of training is to put your body under a lot of stress to the point where it can actually tolerate more stress eventually. And so even if you are putting your body under a lot of stress for a certain time, eventually it'll get used to it. This idea that you just break down and die, it's not entirely true. The body and the brain actually adapts. But, it's still important to track these types of things. And I've seen reports that people have said, when they're working really, really hard at their job and they're doing all this stuff, and, and then they start to get sick. and their heart rate variability tracker can actually detect that within like 3 days before they get sick. And so I think that's very fascinating. So anyway, and they have like an armband that I could put on it so I could use it during jiu-jitsu practice. So anyway, my phone's about to run out of space, so leave your question and comments down below. Let me know what you think about all this, and I appreciate y'all if you've actually listened to this type of video. If you have, let me know, because I can easily make videos like this on a regular basis, but it's making well thought out videos that get to a certain point about like health and facts and crap like that. Those take more out of me and more time and shit. I make a lot of those, but I don't upload them because I don't feel like they're that great. Despite the stuff I've talked about as far as staying consistent, even with crappy videos. Anyway, later.